Are you saving for your first house? Why bother? Our economy is not going to reward you for it. The way the world economy has changed shape in the last couple of decades means that the little luxuries are crazy cheap, and the way the Australian economy has changed means that the big purchase of your life, a house, is crazy expensive to the point of being completely out of reach. That means it's time to start thinking about saving differently and to start asking some hard questions. The easiest thing to do to set the scene is to show you a graph. First, look at what's become cheap. TVs, toys, software, clothing, it's all manufactured goods out of China. Developments in production techniques and the shift towards cheaper manufacturing hubs means that you get your knickknacks and gadgets nice and cheap, well below inflation. That's globalization for you. This graph is American, but those goods are cheap everywhere in the world, so we can leave them where they are. But we should move the inflation number to 62%, which is where it's been in Australia for the 20 years. Now, I'm telling you about these cheap luxuries to give you some context around the price of what we used to call a necessity, a house to call your own. Median house prices across Australian capital cities are here. That's right, house prices have grown 372% in 20 years according to CoreLogic. And as we know, they've ramped up an insane amount recently. Sydney is up 64% in 4 years. It's crazy. So to recap, houses are ridiculously expensive and the deposit required is completely out of reach for first home buyers. It's becoming more and more accepted that parents are going to have to guarantee loans and help fork out the astronomically high down payment with the money that they've earned through a lifetime of hard work. Saving for a house in Sydney and Melbourne just doesn't cut it anymore. Certainly not if you're young and have a lowish income and don't want to live at home with mum and dad until you're 40. You can throw your contribution on the pile, but it alone will get you laughed out of the bank. What's really interesting is that the Australian household saving rate is at 8%, compared with 0% back in 2004, so it's pretty high. I'm talking to potential first home buyers when I ask, what are we still saving for if it's not a house? The way our economy is looking at the moment means that you can afford to buy yourself a whiz-bang new flat-screen TV to put in your bedroom at your parents' house or in the rented share house if you've got some mates. But when it comes to buying an actual house, something that the society has promised you for your whole life, your hands are tied behind your back.